Michael, thanks very much for joining us again for an update on what's happening in the investment markets. We've just come to the end of a financial year, and it's been a strong year for most of Vision Super as options and assets. Can you talk a little bit about the year that's just gone?
Yes, I can. And a lot happened in the year, which you don't really think about until you go back over it. So if you think back 12 months, where we were was very high inflation in the US. It had just peaked. A lot of concern about energy with the approaching European winter and the war in Ukraine. And we still had China in lockdown. So there was a lot of concerns at the start of the year. It was a pretty rocky start to the year. Later in the year, as time went on, the Europeans did a pretty good job in meeting their energy needs. They had a mild winter, which helped. China started coming out of lockdown, and inflation turned elsewhere, in particular in Europe and later in Australia as well. And so in the second half of the year, we saw much stronger market returns. And all through the year, which was a surprise to a lot of people, the economy was very, very resilient. Now, it might not have felt that like that to individual people, but at an economy-wide level, economic growth was pretty decent in the developed world everywhere. So it turned out to be a reasonably good year, and our returns were, pleasingly strong in that environment.
Michael, that's great news from an investment market perspective, but a lot of our members sit in what's called our My Super investment option, and that's had a really strong year. Can you talk a little bit about that option for me?
Yeah, so that option had a very good year. I think it ranked second out of the 50 in the Super Ratings 50 survey. What happened there for us was a product of what had happened in previous years, partly. So we had very little in private equity. We had not very much compared to others in property, which was very helpful. And we also had a wide range of our managers perform well, which also boosted performance. So there's a variety of factors that helped in the year that we just had in achieving that result, which was, as you say, very strong from a relative perspective as well as an absolute perspective. Yeah.
And so, Michael, that we've heard about the year that's just gone, strong performance for our My Super members. What does it look like for the year ahead?
Yeah, well, it's always hard. What we're seeing is continued strong economic growth. We've seen a lot of interest rate rises. There has been quite a lot of savings in some economies, particularly in the US. That's starting to come out. And so it may be a more difficult year ahead. We said that last year, and it didn't turn out that way, but we would think it might be a more difficult year going ahead. But not a terrible, we're not expecting to see terrible things. Now, anything can happen, but at this stage, we're not expecting deep recession or anything like that. So probably, I would say a tougher year than last year turned out to be, but not as bad as it could be.
Very good. As always, if you've got any questions, feel free to give us a call in the contact centre. We've got an advice team that can help you with some of those investment decisions if you'd like help. Michael, as always, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, sure.